banking operation. Sorry about that. Okay. We have, I'm sorry? Is there, well, we will have public comments here in a few minutes, okay? We have a proposal that has been submitted by Victoria James, also known as Sugar, to operate the, like a better word, the 19th hole, the food and beverage operation at the 18-hole golf course. I have not had a chance to look it over, but let's go through it real quick, if we may. Okay.
This is her presentation.
This is her presentation.
You can call her to
I would like to call her to the podium. And if you would turn on the microphone, please, ma'am.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Some of you know me. I have the little food truck across the street. Let me give you just a little background info. I'm Victoria James. Many people know me by Tori, Sugar. I've had the little food truck across the street since 2020 when the pandemic hit, and I decided it was time to leave nursing and go and pursue my passion, which is cooking. So I am ready to take it to the next level because I have found that I am accomplishing what I want to accomplish as far as getting food to the people on Holiday Island. My initial goal with putting the food truck here was to get food to the people that are aging out of the kitchen here. As a nurse, I was not able to get Meals on Wheels for a lot of people in this area, and I found that that spot was convenient for people to either send family members or those that are able to drive still to pick up food. So I've been developing that type of business, and I find I need a little more space at this point because I have some really incredible ideas, and I would like to actually grow the facility from the clubhouse facility, from a clubhouse to a true country club with full catering services, a restaurant that will be open 7 days a week, 365 days a year, including holidays, where I think a lot of people would be drawn to come with their families to have a really nice experience without having to do the cooking themselves. I have a business plan that includes, having employees come from this area using people from Holiday Island and this community to really grow the country club the way that it really could be the most financially productive entity. I think with a little bit of help and a little bit of growth, we can really make it together a viable country club where people want to come and spend their money and bring their families because it'll be reliable, it'll be there every day. It'll be open until food service. Right now I see it 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I intend to get a full liquor license to have a full bar up and running, which will, of course, also bring in revenue, and really try and focus on getting the ballroom to the point where we have a really smooth, clean service for banquets and other, weddings, special events. And I really would like to involve the young people in the community as well by using them as resources for different things that we need to have done to make it grow and be a financially stable situation. So a little bit about my background. I've been here in Arkansas for 15 years now. Prior to that, I spent 25 years in South Florida, and I'm originally from Connecticut, which at 21, I decided, well, you can't really put up your motorcycle for the winter when you just learn how to ride it. So I hopped on and moved down to Florida. Stayed there for 25 years. I was a nurse for 16 years, starting in Florida, and then I ended that career in 2020 with the great pandemic because it was time. Prior to that, for 12 years, I was in holistic health, all different aspects that I still carry with me as far as a really strong nutrition background and just an overall wellness background. And then prior to that, for about 10 years, I was in the hospitality industry, as you are, most people, as young people. I've worked in restaurants in Connecticut and New Orleans and Fort Lauderdale, Miami, the west coast of Florida. So I've been involved in hospitality for quite some time. Now I'm getting back into it, and I'm really enjoying it, and I have gotten a lot of positive feedback from people. What I'd like to do is have a full service 7 days a week. I would call it Sugar's Hot Spot, so we'd keep the short stop and hot spots separately. Hours of operation for food service would be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bar hours would be 11 to 10, Monday through Saturday, and Sunday's closing time would be dependent on how we do. If it's a tournament day or something like that, we can stay open, till 10 or whenever. What I see for at least the start, and this will grow into the full deal, but here's just an overview of what I'm thinking. Okay, so at the where the pro shop is right now, we would have like a grab-and-go menu for early morning people who want to just grab a breakfast sandwich or a burrito or a muffin and a coffee, because we will also have full coffee bars, so we'll do some fancy coffees as well. Just small things, mini quiche, assorted baked goods, and that would be there for grab and go and coffee. Also, 7 days, well, we'll say 6 days a week, a breakfast buffet, normal stuff. You just come in. I know that there is a buffet, or there has been a breakfast buffet up there, and so I know that that's a workable idea because people have told me that they've enjoyed that, so that's something I want to keep. I really want to get into a soup and salad bar as well, so that our lunch people have that option. We'd also do sandwiches and, specialty items. With dinner, we'd still have a soup and salad bar. We do feature meals, different every day of the week. That will also double as what I call the senior meals that could be picked up or in special cases delivered, and we'll work on that and see how that would go for the island. But as far as featured meals, some of the things that have worked well, I see, like a taco bar with a baked potato bar on a hot bar alongside of the salad bar, so that you have some options. And we'd also have a basic dinner menu as well, so you didn't have to take the feature or just the salad bar. We'd also have regular dining options and a regular menu, along with appetizers. And if anybody wants to ask any questions about that, I've already got a menu started and just some ideas up there. I would like to see like a Friday and Saturday date night, so that we can start doing a little bit more upscale dining for our residents here, like a Friday, Saturday reservations, higher end food, nice atmosphere, give them a little more privacy. At the same time, there would also be the regular dinner menu for families or somebody who didn't want to participate in the higher end date night type of thing. Sunday brunch, I think, can be a real big pull. Everybody wants a place to go after church, and there's nothing like Sunday brunch. I've been to the Crescent, and I really like the way they do things, and I think we have a lot of potential to focus on those nicer, upscale type menus and items to bring people in and then keep them here. I also see, along with the liquor license, I'd like to do just plan things to fill the down times, like a 4 o'clock daily happy hour with high tea for those who don't partake in cocktails. Really focus on mocktails and cocktails, because mocktails seem to be what people are really getting into, and so making a comfortable space so people don't have to feel like they have to have alcohol just because they want to come and participate in a happy hour. We'd also have live jazz at that time. I have a lady lined up who's classically trained in piano and voice and guitar, and just for a couple hours to relax. And we'd have high tea with little tea sandwiches and that type of stuff, and then cocktail hour with light bites available, and then we would parlay that, have people shift to the dining room after that, and then have dinner with us as well, if they want. Holiday party menus. I would have a set menu, or we would use a buffet. It would depend on what people's reactions are, but I fully intend to have it open for all the holidays and every day, really, because even on the slowest day, 2 people walk in and, it makes a big difference for them. But I see it being a lot bigger than that, because I think once people start coming, and we're so close to the beginning of the season right now, it's going to be a challenge to get fully up and running. So I think it would have to be a more gradual introduction and get things squared away, get the basic staff down and laid out, and then we can potentially, by the holiday season, really be ready to present nice dinners for our people who are here all year long. Because the summertime people aren't, they're nice, we want to get their money too, but we really got to focus on, I want to focus on people here in Holiday Island, because there's a deficit of places to go. There's nowhere really high-end to go. Gaskins, but that's open just a few days a week. And during season, that goes down. And there's enough people in this area full-time. We have more people here than Eureka does. And I think that we can really fulfill a need that people have to go downtown to get at this point. So I'm really focused on keeping locals' money here in the local community. Okay. I also have a food truck, as we have talked about, and what I would really like to do is move it so that it can help with a concession for the recreation area, things that would go well around the pool or maybe the small golf course, drinks, ice cream, light bites like hot dogs, burgers, French bread pizzas, just that kind of stuff that can be made, can be heated up down there. I'd make it in the kitchen up at the country club, but we would stock and have a variety of different things, but still, that would close at 5, again, so that the people would go up to the clubhouse for dinner. But we'd be there all day from like 10 to 5. And also that could be a pickup station, I'm thinking between 4 and 5 for the senior meals for people who are on the island that need or want that service. So does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Where would you get your employees from? You need additional employees from across the street, right? To run this?
Where would I get my employees from?
Uh-huh.
Right here locally. I have a really strong support system. I've been in the community for a long time. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people in the restaurant business. I have a pretty good advisor in my son. And, I think that my vision is we run it a bit differently than most places do. We pay people a wage that is livable. We don't have to have them depending on tips. Yes.
What about the employees who are there now, cooks and waiter?
They are all welcome. I am not in there to change everybody's position. I just want to expand on what's happening right now so that we can use the entire space, really ramp up the restaurant side of the business. That's the first thing I'd like to do, is just get the restaurant up and running and open every day, get the liquor license in place, and put my head down and ram through it. We'll just do it.
I've got a couple of others, but I'll ask other commissioners if they have questions. Shirley, David.
I was wondering, do you envision having full-service seated servers? Let me start over. I'm not saying this the way I'm thinking it. Will you continue with walk-up to pick, or have one-person food running? Do you intend to have servers from the beginning? Full sit-down service, I guess, is the way I would phrase that.
I would, yes,
And
with the salad bar and a hot bar also optionally. But yes, and we would run the dining room differently than most places do. Most of you are familiar with Catherine, who had Cafe Amore. She had an amazing way to work that dining room, where her people that took the orders never left the floor. There were runners that would run everything,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
way the people who are taking the orders have eyes on the dining room the entire time, and they can make sure that customer service is going to be the most optimal.
Okay. And my other question, and this may be in your business plan that comes later, but what do you envision that we need to do to get you ready? Other than moving the merchandise downstairs and that service.
Well, that's a great place to start.
Are you looking at modeling or change?
I think change comes gradually, because
Okay.
change is difficult for a lot of people. And I want to get in there, get used to it. I'm a very hands-on person. And so I'd go in, I'm not going to change everything right away. We're going to gradually work in it. And I will work with the staff that's there now, if they choose to stay, to see, okay, now I have a pretty good feeling as to what the people in the area like as far as food goes.
Sure.
And I think the first thing we would do is just improve the menu and get things squared away. Remodeling is great, but let's give it a go and see what we can do first before we start knowing. We got to feel our way through it. What I have envisioned is working with everybody. I'm pretty translucent.
Yeah.
So
I'm just trying to envision, you talked about having a coffee bar, the problem of having that separated room, the dining area, and then the big part of the merchandise room. And I'm just trying to get a vision of it.
Well, I would like to spend a little more time in there, especially once the Pro Shop goes to its new place where it will be. Then I'll be able to get more of a feel as to where we're going to put the bar, and because I wouldn't necessarily have it where it is right now, because it's right there when you walk in the door. And, that's stuff what we can move. And, yeah, we'll work on it and we'll go. I don't foresee, as long as it's a functioning entity at this moment, I don't see that you have to go in and wreck anything. Let's grow it before we change everything, let it happen organically.
Tori, I have a question. Can you kind of fill, you're going to cater, you're talking about, you're going to do all your own catering. You don't buy,
I
buy
don't-
pre-made stuff.
No.
I-
That's where my background in the holistic and the health and all
Right.
that comes in. I don't buy purveyors' food. Now, we do use purveyors because we have to get our food from somewhere, but I'm not buying pre-made food. I want to know what's in it. And I'm the person in the restaurant the cook wants to run from because I ask what's in it.
Right.
I want to know, and I can't tell that from something that comes from Cisco or Benny Keith. Plus, I think, the whole reason I'm getting into this is because I love to cook, and that is my passion. So, yeah, everything will be authentic and homemade.
And when there's things going on in the ballroom, I presume you are going to do all the catering yourself.
Well, I would say, that would depend on how the person who's going to rent the room
Wants to do it.
If they have a wedding planner or something like that who comes in and they have their own caterer, that's fine. If they choose to use us to catering, we would work that out too.
You'll give them a charge and.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay,
It would depend on how full service they want it. If they want us to do everything from start to finish, as far as decorations and food and all that, they're going to have to pay for that. I mean, you know,
Well, absolutely.
It's not a free service.
I've said this and I didn't hear it. You mentioned serving cocktails and wine and so forth. You would have to get a liquor license then?
Yes, full liquor.
Okay. And you're going to do that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Have you had one before?
No. But I'm not a felon.
I just asked.
I got a pretty good reputation.
That would probably, if, I don't know how that would be if she had a liquor license and she had the food truck down there. Can she sell beer legally? And we could find that out if you
Well-
could sell beer at the golf course down there,
Well,
if it's parked right there.
I would think, I don't think they're going to allow that per se, but that's not to say we couldn't perhaps have a bar cart that might occasionally take a trip down there
Okay.
that is more attached to the country club rather than the food truck. The food truck is just going to be a shell for concession for the most part. I'm not going to do cooking out of there so much because I've worked it for enough summers now to know that I would not want to put anybody else in that little box all summer long with cooking equipment on. I'm going to really revise the menu, and it's going to be mainly a concession for the recreation area, you know. Drinks, ice creams, maybe snow cones.
And you would fix the food and bring it down there from,
We would stock it.
okay.
Okay, now,
Good.
it's not going to be the menu that I have now.
Well, I understand that,
Because
but
I
I mean,
want them
you,
to go
like,
up there
for
for that.
something quick at the swimming pool or for the
Hot
golfer to come up
dogs,
there?
Little French bread pizzas, chips, pre-made sandwiches. I'm thinking like little French bread things that they could just pop in a toaster oven, whoever is down there. And, you know, fun things that more geared toward grab-and-go stuff.
I know you make your own muffins. I know they're really delicious. I mean,
And-
I think they would sell real good.
And I make my own roll of buns for the burgers and the hot dogs, and we'll be making most of our own breads in-house. I do have a woman who is a baker, and she's going to be working on some of the more pastry and sweet ends. I love my muffins, but I think she really does a great job with some of the fancier pastries because I can't do everything. So we do have to have a little bit of help. I would love to do everything.
Thank
but-
you. I think this is a wonderful proposal. We get down to the terms of it. Did everyone get a chance to look at the terms that was requested?
Yeah, I have a question on that,
All right.
Chair. And that's $1 a year for a lease.
For the first year?
First year.
Yeah, for the first year. If you needed new equipment, additional equipment, because you've had quite a list of very nice dishes and so forth, if you need additional equipment, HICID would not buy that, you would be purchasing your own
Correct.
equipment, is that right?
Right, and I do have a lot of the equipment, well, some of the equipment. What I have in the food trailer right now is commercial grade, and that is just, it's not going to be used in the trailer down there, so if we need something else, I'm happy to bring it up there. I also have some additional drink coolers and all that sort of thing that I will be bringing, along with the kitchen equipment that I have.
Very good.
I guess for the board, we just put in a cooler up there, a different cooler. I think that was 5,000. We did 5,000 for a vent hood a few months ago. We put in 11,000 for a air conditioner, HVAC. So I'm just wondering, then after, we would leave it at $1 a year and then see
Then-
how it goes and how the customers
And then-
For
are.
the first year, then it's negotiable after
Then-
that.
then-
Right,
she-
and
I think
see,
that's great.
I have a plan. The first year, that's our growing pains year, getting used to each other. But my vision is for a longer 5-year lease, so that we can really then begin to make it bloom.
I feel like we should just, if you're going to vote on this, you should vote on the proposal to be considered with a contract drawn up with a lawyer.
Indeed.
We don't want to make a firm decision. It's going to be, we're going to accept the proposal, but then have a lawyer look and draw up a contract. with
Exactly.
us.
You get all the nuts and bolts in the right place.
I think that is correct. And as a matter of fact, I'll entertain a motion to accept
I'll make that a motion.
conditions of this proposal.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
I have one more
I'm
question.
not sure what the
Just a minute.
motion
I'm
is.
not either. I
What,
never-
what
It
are
was-
we,
The motion was that he made was to accept the proposal
Accept the
from her.
proposal from
Proposal.
her
Yes.
to go have our attorney
Just,
draw up a contract.
I guess I'm not quick to accept the proposal without an attorney reviewing it.
all we're saying is she turned in a proposal, we're accepting it, and now we're gonna go further with a lawyer to draw up a contract to finalize.
Okay.
All we're saying is we got her proposal, and we are accepting it to be considered.
Okay.
Another question I have, Mr. Chair, is taxes. Right now, HICID pays all the taxes on everything up there. So in your business, you would be paying the taxes
Oh,
through.
yeah. I
Okay.
would have the insurance, and I would pay the payroll taxes, and, yeah, it would be my entity
Okay.
in your building.
Any further discussion? I will entertain the vote on the, for approving the proposal to go forward with a contract.
To consider the proposal.
Mhm.
I'd second. Oh, it's been.
It's second. All in favor?
It's been done.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have accepted your proposal, and we will continue with, you will work with Rich here, the district manager, on getting the details ironed out, and then we'll approve the contract at a later date.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the opportunity to give my proposal.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Larry,
Yes, ma'am?
Stephanie and Rich both pointed out that we haven't reported on the results of our executive session.
Oh,
He did. He said we're going to sign.
I thought he did, but Stephanie missed it. So,
okay.
Do you mind repeating that?
Okay, we approved the contract with Ms. Fagan here. And anyway, the conditions of the contract are all laid out in the contract. And I think,
And I move that we accept the contract.
okay,
We did that, didn't we? I thought we did that.
I thought we did,
It didn't-
it
it
was up
didn't-
in the air.
Steph missed it, so we're just.
it's,
It's
yes,
a formality.
Yeah, it's just formality, because Steph did not get it, so we're just doing it one more time.
we're doing it again. Okay?
Sorry.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's approved.
I want comments?
Okay, any public comments? Commissioners' comments?
Steve has.
Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
Crow, 6 Horseshoe Drive. I just want to say a couple of things. I think it's a great idea to get that restaurant leased out to an individual, and we've been losing money on it left and right. I like the idea of the food truck going to the rec center. It's kind of funny, though, and ironic. I hate me for saying this. Some of y'all in here laughed at me when I said you're going to wind up blowing $1 million on a rec center. You laughed at me. And now what do we have? We're going to have $1 million. We got a kitchen in that sucker. Why don't we let her go in there and cook hamburgers and serve it in the rec center? We
It's
spend
not-
$1 million and all we're getting is a bathroom and a check-in window and a
That-
swimming pool.
The kitchen, I do not believe would
I know.
pass the examinations
That was
because it's not a.
sarcasm.
Okay,
$1 million building to check into a swimming pool and a golf course and take a leak. I'm sorry, okay? That's not taking care of our money. One thing I did want to bring up, though, and nobody mentioned, but I read on the fire department's post last week that our ISO rating came back, and we maintained our 5. And I think that you guys, I appreciate the board putting the money last year into replacing, we did not have one fire truck that passed inspection after years of neglect. And I won't get into that because I'll just hurt feelings. But that can was kicked down the road like those trucks didn't go bad in 3 or 4 years, okay? It was neglected so we could pay for crap we didn't really need. But I appreciate the board investing the money, and I really appreciate what Chief Yates has done with the fire department since he came on board. It's not a week goes by that you don't see photos of training. We're increasing volunteers. That's amazing to me, and you know, because there's a lot of old farts like us in this community. That he's getting these young folks to come in from surrounding areas, and they're training these people. They make a lot of runs, and I like, you know, they go to Eureka Springs comes here, Berryville, all these different fire departments working together, and I really think that Chief Yates has done a heck of a job, and I just would like to see you guys recognize him. I'm glad we kept our ISO rating, even though we still got a ways to go, but those are important infrastructure things that need to be taken care of, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Commissioner comments?
I wanted to welcome Rich again, as you did at the beginning of the meeting. And I was with him last Tuesday night, just happened to be, Peggy, at your open house and ribbon cutting. We had about 90 people there. I think Rich got tired of shaking hands there. Everybody wanted to meet him, and I pointed out who he was. And then he went to the Chamber of Commerce meeting up the hill, and he stayed through the entire meeting there. So 5 days last week, I bet he met half of the people at Holiday Island, and I'm excited that he's here and looking forward to a good tenure with you, Rich.
Chairman, I'd like to make a comment on what Mr. Crow said about the fire department and our ISO rating, and I appreciate that we kept it. But there was some talk recently about the water department and the fire department getting together and testing these hydrants. And I guess I'd like to know what the schedule is and what's the progress been made on testing the fire hydrants.
Yeah, I've had a conversation with Dan about this and with Randy, and we're gonna start working on how to throttle the valves back to do the test without disturbing the main or the hydrants. We're just gonna work together and start flushing them and doing flow tests and see what we got to help with that.
When will that begin?
Hopefully shortly. I mean, as soon as we get in a little bit nicer weather so we can flow it all down the road and everything, but yeah. That and then other things me and Dan already set up a summer plan for things that need to get done.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I wanted to thank you for the support and stuff that you've helped me with so far, some ideas. This is to Rich, and I just appreciate the things you've told me about what you did, and I appreciate the time that you spent up until not even Friday. You had over 60 hours in the first week, and had used a whole tank of diesel fuel in your truck, driving around, checking on all the people and talking. And I know you were at some of the places at 6:30 in the morning, and the water department, and the sewer department, and the roads department at 6:30 in the morning. This man's up. He's up there seeing what people are doing. So I want to thank you, Rich. I think that is an admirable job.
Any other comments? Okay, we need to schedule agenda scheduling. I do think that we possibly need another work session. Let's see what we can schedule on that.
We have Memorial Day.
Point out that our regular board meeting will fall on Memorial Day, so we need to take that into consideration with our
Okay.
scheduling, maybe back up a week for the regular meeting.
We can do that. I think that's a good idea. So we'd make the regular meeting on the 13th,
20th,
the 20th.
May 20.
And if you need a work session, the 13th.
Well, the 20th is Memorial Day.
No, the 27th is Memorial Day.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Okay. The print's so little I can't read it. Okay, so let's schedule a work session for the 13th of May and a regular meeting on the 20th. Okay, that's the third.
Second.
That's the third Monday anyway. anything else? Yes, ma'am? We'll have that taken care of. I think we need another work session. We need to meet next Monday, on this, on the fees for up there.
So that would be a special meeting on Monday.
That'd be a special meeting on the 29th. No, of April.
That's a Monday, April 20.
Or any day of the week. Yeah, we can do that. That'll be on Tuesday.
What about the 25th? Thursday, the 25th.
It's-
Well, Friday, 25th, or whatever it is, and Monday I'm gone.
Well, the 25th is Thursday. Thursday.
No, I'm gone Thursday through Monday.
30th.
You'll need me for it, too.
All right, we'll do it on the 30th, special
Yeah,
meeting.
Okay.
Yep, and we will get those fees ironed out by then. But I'm going to tell you this, we fully expect utilization of the facility up there. We've got too much money invested in that debacle. Okay, any other comments? I hear a motion for adjournment.
Okay, Doug got it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.